Hi gorgeous lights, welcome to an energy update for the week starting the 1st of July. I can't believe where this year is going, and because the whole of the year is a refocus energy, we're getting pushed by the universe time and time again to refocus on what's your priority, to refocus on which direction that you want to go, and refocus a lot to do with, the guys are talking about this morning, a lot to do with self-care, self-nurturing, self-harmony. It's very much about, in a refocus energy, it's about you, because you are the centre of your own universe, and the guides are very, very aware that as we're bringing in more light to the planet, higher collective consciousness, representing many, many choices to refocus and refocus again. Now, one of the things that I just want you to be really, really mindful of is you're supposed to be refocusing on you. You're not supposed to be focusing, which I'm seeing happening, on how somebody else's journey is, how somebody else is choosing to turn up on their journey. That is their journey. It is not your journey. And we have a horrible societal programming that's very, very subtle, and it's really awful, which pushes us into cross comparison, keeping up with the Joneses, bigger house, bigger car, better this, which is so false, because it has nothing to do with your individualized soul journey. Absolutely nothing. You're still going to have the same soul journey and learn about yourself and the intricacies of yourself as what you're going to have if you have the big house and the big car and the whatever, because that's the illusion that says that you're successful. In reality, and bearing in mind that I work with death every day, that the reality is how you're turning up for you, within you, seeing you, loving you. All of that is way more important at a deeply connected soul level than anything else that's going on around you. So in this refocus energy, particularly for the month of July, it's going to get complicated. Well, it's not complicated, but it's going to get complicated. And in that complicatedness, be really, really mindful of projecting towards other people the things that you need to actually sort out in yourself, and to it's to differing degrees. Now, if you're dealing with someone on the outside of you and that person's being really dishonest, and you know intuitively that the person's being really dishonest, then you have to understand that there is reflecting going on. We're all in it together. We're all human beings. We're all on the planet at the same time. We're giving little starburst indicators, wisdom, everything to each other about the way that we turn up all the time. We human beings are pack animals. That's the way that it works. But it's a little bit about going into this new energy. It's about vulnerability. It's about connectivity. It's about unity. So the universe is amplifying this refocusing energy so that you can potentially see where you're in your own way. Now, projections, when we don't see ourselves, we project annoyance and frustration, like that person's not terribly honest, I wish they'd be more honest. But then if you pulled it back and look at yourself, where are you actually being honest sometimes in your daily life when you're doing something that you don't agree with, or you're saying something to keep somebody else happy? Because if you cut it all away, then that is a level of deceit that you're turning up in a deceitful way for yourself by not being honest about how you actually truthfully feel. Now, before everyone comes at me and says, well, I can't really say what I actually think because I just want to have a rant at someone, yep, that's called dishonesty, because if you have got to such a level of rage, frustration, resentment, that is going to come out because you have suppressed stuff for such a long period of time that now it's volatile, now it's volcanic, now it's massive. So as soon as you get triggered by someone this big, and you go boom, it's because you have suppressed this for such a long period of time. In this projection energy and this refocus energy, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen to illuminate for you what needs to be healed in yourself. Now, when I talk to people about nurturing themselves, it gets really confusing. Why? Because you were never actually shown where to nurture yourself, how to nurture yourself, how to appreciate yourself. And you can start by doing this really simple technique. of just acknowledging, yeah, I did feel like that comment that person made, I did take that personally. Why did I take that personally? I took it personally because maybe I've never felt heard in my entire life, and that person didn't hear me either, and I really felt that. Then you go, I'm allowed to feel that way. And as soon as you surrender to going, yep, I felt that way, it's not that person's fault that I felt that way, because nobody makes you feel the way that you feel. You feel the way that you feel because of an environment, because of a situation, because of a trigger. You're still going to feel the way that you feel, that is unique to you and belongs to nobody else. So the only person that you've got to work with around that is yourself. So the art of bringing things back to yourself, Spirit calls it an art. Of course it's an art. It's an art form to go, yep, I felt that way, expecting other people to understand how I feel. I can be clear, but I can't 150% expect them to feel the same way as me, because they're not me. They're defined by their own experiences. And we can have commonality. Don't forget we can have commonality, but quite often the expectation that we walk around is that everybody will think the same way we do. They're their own person. They're going to think their own way. So when you hear a projection, and sometimes we can hear a projection. I know one time I was in the supermarket and someone was telling me about some stuff going on around them, and then they came out and said, oh, look, I really hated gossip. I'm like, oh, okay. But the thing is that we share information about other people so we can feel validated by who we're telling that our opinion is right. Now, when you have mastered the art of nurturing yourself, it won't even cross your mind to gossip, to talk about someone else, because you have got an alignment on the inside of you that says, I know how to nurture myself through that situation, and I don't need validation, justification or judgment of another person. Now, someone did say to me the other day, and I totally get it, and they said, oh my gosh, why would I be bothered doing this? And I'm like, you don't have to. Nobody has to do anything that they don't want to do. But in your individualised soul journey, the universe will show you time and time and time again what you need to heal in your own self. And it's because the earth plane is a growth learning realm. It's that simple. Who are you here to learn about? Yourself. And wisdom and understanding, celebrating who you are, honouring you, and it's going to use other people to actually show you how you're actually turning up. And there is a major blessing in it. If you are watching spiritual stuff, then you are trying to learn about the more and the what else and what's going on. And the universe is responding to you all the time by the way that you think in your inner world about yourself. It will reflect it in other people back towards you so that you can harmonise yourself. There's no judgment from the universe, because quite often people say, well, I kind of feel like the universe is actually picking on me. The universe is not picking on you. The universe is illuminating a wound that you're getting hurt through time and time again so you can heal it. So if you fall into the habit of going, well, this always happens to me, then yes, it will always happen to you, because your belief structure is it will always happen to you. When you heal that belief structure that says, this isn't going to happen to me again, I'm going to look after myself more, nurture myself more, celebrate myself more, everything stops because you worked it out. It is really that simple. Now, in this refocus energy, coming back to the refocus energy, particularly to do with July, there is going to be thick and fast illuminations. It started about 7 or 8 months ago, so you will be noticing things that you just maybe insult your soul and you just can't do it anymore. Don't shoot the messenger, the person that showed it to you, the environment that showed it to you, the trigger that showed it to you. It is about you were ready to get that realisation that went, I need to put a boundary in. I need to have really good discernment about how I'm actually dealing with this. The timing was perfect. Now that timing, and this is going to be particularly relevant with July, guys, the timing is divine timing. It is not, and everyone cringes when I say divine timing, but divine timing runs on your soul's readiness to accept the next level of information, the next level of growth, the next level of understanding that's going to take you into the next chapter or the new beginning or the next thing. And the more we fight with ourselves internally, don't nurture ourselves, don't accept our emotions or emotional well-being, and we're smothering them, pushing them away, or blowing them up at anybody, the more that happens, the longer that timing takes, because it's a lack of acceptance, which therefore creates resistance, which means that the universe will show it to you again and again because you're resisting. The more those cycles and loop cycles happen, I didn't get that, thank you, is that the more you'll be shown it as well. Now, and because we're I'm just listening to what I've angels say, because we're in a time that's actually really incredible about clearing old karmic cycles, ancestral wounding, and I know that we've all, spiritual people, we talk about this for years and years and years. Why do we talk about it for years and years and years? Because everyone is at different levels of evolution, and sometimes we have these waves that come through the planet of rapid fire elevation that's like where the universe is saying, gosh, you know, I want a big percentage of souls that are ready at this level to level up to the next level. So like creating a beautiful diamond, I'm just going to squash them so that they realise how strong they are. They realise how powerful they are. They let go of stuff that doesn't serve them anymore, and they elevate a little bit higher, that brings a little bit more light. Now, because it's an equation, even though it's refocus energy, because it's an equation, then more dark comes in. Now, it's interesting because I was talking to somebody in the weekend about light and dark, and I was saying our inability, I mean, we've probably all seen too many horror movies or seen too many stuff when all the darkness is a bad thing. It's just an illuminator. We need dark for lights to be really amazing and incredible, and we need shadows so that we can investigate what's in there and find out what's in there. So I think we've sometimes got this whole horrible judgment about even our own darkness. You're allowed to be grumpy, you're allowed to have a bad temper, you're allowed to feel picked on, self-sabotage, all those sort of things. There's 34,000 emotions in the human experience. You're going to run through them all. If you stop resenting that, you can learn to navigate through emotional equilibrium. All of this is being addressed at the moment, so you will feel less tolerant than what you normally do. You may feel more moody than what you normally do. You may feel more resentful and angry, but at the end of the day, this is a build-up of emotional suppression that the universe is asking you to refocus on. This doesn't serve you anymore. So if it's tied up with a karmic tie or an ancestral trail, then the big push is to free yourself so we can start stepping into clearer energy where you can be more connected with yourself, where you can refocus on what you need to do for yourself. And I'm not talking about walking away from responsibilities. I love sometimes have people interpret what you say, and that's fine, but it isn't about going stuffless, I'm not doing this anymore, unless you want to. But if you've got children, partners, all of those sort of things, it's releasing the energetic responsibility and coming back to just loving them, because that's your role. It's not to fix all their problems, it's not to save the world, it's not to do this. It is about aligning yourself to your inner purpose, to your inner unity and equilibrium, and that's how we start to change the world. So you've got to release energetic responsibility for every other soul that's down here. Look, Evangelist just reminded me, look, if you are looking after someone that is ill, if you are looking after someone that has a hard life journey, that is a physical level responsibility. When you bring it back to love and you go, I'm just going to love this person through the process that they're going through, as well as physically helping them, you take some energetic slack off yourself with that understanding. And if you can bring it even more back to love and actually say, I love that they've chosen to have this journey with me, or I'm involved in this part of this journey, then you lighten the energetic responsibility load again, because the universe goes, oh, you're open to loving the situation that you're actually in. I will send more love and more support and more understanding, because you're generating that by being it in the first place. And this is what this refocus energy is seriously about. So please look after yourself. Please take a pause. If there's stuff going on around you, then pull back and go, I'm just going to come into the role of the observer for a bit so I can actually figure out what's actually going on, how it's impacting me, the choices that I have on my own journey, how I deal with this, and refocus again. It's just that simple. Take care of you and keep shining.